EliteLenny reporting for duty, and I must admit, it's taken me a couple of days to compose this. Why the delay? I needed to ensure I addressed all to-the-point aspects of the topic I'm about to delve into. This piece primarily centers on one game, and for good reason. The realm of modern gaming, especially those with compelling narratives, demands improvement rather than regression. Corporate decisions often overshadow artistic integrity, catering to niche fan bases at the expense of the broader audience. Moreover, mishandling the public relations surrounding voice actors who have passed away only compounds the issue. I've opted to position myself in front of the camera as I believe it allows for a more relatable perspective on the issue at hand. Additionally, I prefer a streamlined approach to editing, which aligns with my preference to minimal post-production work. Hence, with these considerations in mind, I've got to weigh in on the current state of gaming, particularly how games are conceived, marketed, and ultimately released. While I won't delve into gameplay mechanics, which often remain consistent within a genre, I find that many games lack the contextual depth necessary to truly engage players, whether a game boasts a rich storyline or multiplayer functionality. There's a glaring need for more substance. Take, for instance, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. I decided to check out the gameplay myself, skeptical of the game's potential success. Opting for the safe bet, I turned to YouTube. And you know what? It just works. When I visited the YouTube channel Gamer's Little Playground, I opted to watch a playthrough that focused solely on the story cutscenes. Remarkably, the player managed to complete the game in less than 10 hours, assuming the cutscenes weren't overly lengthy. Despite its unique gameplay, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League stands out on its own among other titles in the gaming sphere. The game features a basic storyline but lacks depth in exploring the motivations and backgrounds of its main characters: Harley Quinn, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, and Deadshot. Regarding the line, Deadshot is white. While occasional meta talk can add interest, reducing Deadshot to his skin color feels unnecessary and detracts from his character's complexity. Audiences in 2016 embraced Will Smith's portrayal of Deadshot regardless of his skin color, highlighting a broader acceptance of diverse character representations. As for Will Smith, I hope he's remembered for his exceptional acting roles rather than recent incidents, such as the one that occurred on stage. Chris Rock handled that situation admirably, displaying professionalism in a challenging moment. Absolutely, adhering to Deadshot's original comic book portrayal would likely resonate better with DC fans. Embracing originality over repurposed content not only honors the character's rich history, but also maintains continuity and authenticity within the gaming experience. But let's focus on the topic at hand. It's noteworthy that Harley Quinn made a spectacular re-entry in Kill the Justice League, especially considering her last appearance in the Arkham Knight game, the preceding entry when compiling the games in chronological order. The game's setting takes place 5 years after Arkham Knight, allows for an intriguing evolution of her character. Harley Quinn, even before her recruitment into Task Force X, along with the other 3 villains, remains true to her chaotic and unpredictable nature. Her continued portrayal as a psycho adds an element of consistency to her character, maintaining the essence that has made her a compelling and iconic figure in the DC universe. Captain Boomerang and King Shark, much like Harley Quinn, contribute their own distinctive traits to the team dynamic. Captain Boomerang is renowned for his cunning and proficiency with boomerangs, often portrayed as a clever and resourceful rogue. Conversely, King Shark introduces a savage and unpredictable element to the squad with his immense strength and animalistic tendencies. Interestingly, both of these characters were featured in the 2014 animated film Batman Assault on Arkham, alongside Quinn and Deadshot, as well as 3 additional members, excluding Amanda Waller herself. For the sake of narrative simplicity, limiting the Task Force X roster to just 4 members in the game was a prudent decision. This streamlined approach allows for a more focused storytelling experience without overwhelming players with too many characters and plot lines to follow. However, the backlash from Arkhamverse fans stems from the profound disappointment with the game. The sudden and disrespectful demise of a major character, particularly given their significance to the series' legacy, has left a bitter taste. While I'm not personally versed in the Batman Arkham series, I recognize the sentiment among fans. Batman's portrayal, notably voiced by the esteemed Kevin Conroy for decades, adds weight to their grievances. The character's treatment in Suicide Squad feels like a betrayal of that legacy, and I empathize with their perspective. Consequently, I've chosen to regard this game as non-canon for myself. Indeed, labeling this game as a what-if scenario rather than the definitive fate of the Arkhamverse seems more appropriate. Even if the Suicide Squad managed to vanquish Brainiac's iterations, entrusting them with the responsibility of doing right by themselves afterward feels dubious at best. There's a palpable sense of dissatisfaction with the storytelling and its translation into an interactive gaming experience. Something crucial seems to be missing, and I believe it's the depth of the Justice League characters. Not everyone familiarizes themselves with the intricate lore of the comics or the cinematic releases from DC Comics and DC Studios. Hence, there's a glaring deficiency in substance that needs addressing. It's disheartening enough to witness a beloved character developed over several games within a series meet their demise through an execution. While some may interpret it as a respectful send-off, I can't ignore the feeling that it's also a blatant disregard for the character's legacy. However, my disillusionment with the game goes beyond this single incident. It's rooted in the realization that the decision was made with the assumption that Kevin Conroy's voice would grace 2 future projects released shortly after this game. This exacerbates the situation, tarnishing not just the character's legacy, but also damaging the reputation of DC Comics. In light of these circumstances, it might be prudent for them to reconsider producing similar projects if this is the narrative context they're willing to offer. The state of gameplay in today's modern games often leads one to ponder the cycle of recycling and repetition, devoid of depth and meaning. It raises the question, are we expected to passively support gaming studios that, despite their best efforts, ultimately fail due to a need to veer drastically from serious topics? The Arkhamverse series of games was intended to remain separate from endeavors aimed at capturing an entirely different audience, unfamiliar with the games themselves. However, what Rocksteady Studios perhaps did not anticipate was the response from dedicated Arkhamverse fans who felt betrayed by what they perceived as dishonesty and disregard for cherished characters. Fans vocalized their discontent, calling out Rocksteady and DC for the perceived lack of consideration towards characters in need of closure or a dignified departure from the screen. While I haven't played the games myself, I understand the essence of what can be gleaned from this. Crafting something beloved by fans requires a deep connection to storytelling. When creating a series of interconnected games, each release should contribute meaningfully to the narrative and characters. Unfortunately, in the case of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the conclusion falls short of expectations, delivering a disappointing ending for characters who deserved better. Effective game storytelling involves writing and production that resonate with fans, offering subtle nuances for them to discover while immersing themselves in the narrative. Regrettably, this game fails to achieve that standard. In my opinion, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League deserves an F. I will excuse myself before delving further. This one is a bit of a doozy, so yeah. This is EliteLenny signing off. For those interested, please consider following my other platforms on streaming or social media to stay focused on upcoming content. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, DLive, Africa TV, and YouTube. Additionally, feel free to check out my Discord if you want to hang out or share concerns and suggestions for upcoming content. Thank you, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Cheers!